afternoon. The sun hasn't even risen yet. What's up, man? Hey, how's it going? Good Friday for sure. Didn't really take any trades. I got one running right now. That might work out, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alright, how long we got here? Love the patio. Thanks, man. I love it too. It's really nice to have like a party up there. In July, Vancouver does a fireworks festival called the Celebration of Lights. It's like 3 days long, and out in the harbor there, they bring a giant tanker, and they shoot off like fireworks for each night is about like half an hour or an hour or something like that. So every year I have a big party, and I get maybe about 30 people up on that patio, and we watch all the fireworks. You can see them perfect. I've only been here a couple years, so only lived here a couple years. So. All right, a bunch of people jumping in already. I think, guys, it's going to be probably a little bit shorter of a stream today. We had such a great one yesterday, such a long one. I just want to kind of leave that as the ending note for this week. Not a whole lot going on today. I think a lot of countries are kind of on holiday. I think it's a long weekend on a lot of the smaller banks. Alright, so let's get this started. Opinion on Elliott Wave. Yeah, Elliott Wave is something that I've seen some traders do. And it, in my opinion, is very difficult. It's very, very difficult to get that working properly. Let me just turn off this music. My stream's a bit laggy. Okay, let's close that out. Okay, it's very difficult to actually determine the actual highs and lows and the different waves. So it takes a lot of practice, and you're always open to different interpretations of what the waves actually are. So it's not a very good strategy, in my opinion, because it's not concrete. That's why I like my horizontal lines, because I can tell you for a fact that closed above, right? I know for sure. Nobody would ever dispute that, right? But in Elliott Wave, you know, I could be like, where's the freaking Elliott Wave? Elliott Wave, I could draw it, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, 5 or something. I could draw it over here. You know, there's so many different ways to draw it, right? And probably you would draw it this way, just because 3 is always the longest, I think. But I don't use it. I tried it out when I was first learning. Not my cup of tea. Hello from the UK. Been watching your videos. Good morning. Hey, Kev. Good morning. Click the like button. Adam, you're the best mod, man. Can you please do a video a day in a life? Yeah, you know what? I actually recorded one at one point before quarantine. And I just never put any of the clips together. It was kind of like early, and my schedule was all different, so it might not be the best one, but I'll have to do another one at some point. We're kind of doing like those vlog things, which is somewhat similar. Okay, so let's just jump into something here that I was kind of looking at. CAD. We talked about, you know, for weeks since here, basically. not weeks, but over a week. We were waiting for this to come back here. It finally came back here and we actually swept those lows. And that's kind of what I was expecting there yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before yesterday? Which day? Yeah, I think the day before yesterday. We were coming down. We were going to think that we're actually going to go a little bit lower here. I wasn't really expecting it to turn around exactly like it did, but that's always as expected, right? Things don't go exactly as you plan. But this does look really good looking at it from this case, right? Now, as we approach this level here that we originally dumped off of, what I told you guys yesterday that I thought it would reject off of here, and then we would likely go back to the upside after a little bit of a pullback. I don't know how big of a pullback. Let's just kind of move this over so it adjusts for timing. There you go. Maybe somewhere down here, or even lower. I'm not completely sure, and it might even keep going lower, but I do think at some point somewhere around here it is going to reject. So we're kind of seeing that it hasn't quite hit that level that we're looking for, and that makes me hesitant to enter. Considering that this is an hourly level, it's not like they just front-runned it, right? It's quite a bit further from the level, as you can see. So I would have liked to enter right around here on a short, but I think I'm just going to leave it for now. Right, just because I'm not completely certain, and it's just a little bit of hesitation, right? But the structure does look nice. We made a consolidation here. It's distribution pattern rather, and then we swept those highs and we started breaking back down. Now we might see, something like this. Remember we talked about Wyckoff? It was something like this. I think it would go like this, right? Oh shit! No, I need an extra one. It would go something like this. Remember Wyckoff? It was there and then it broke down and then it made an even higher high before coming back down. I think something like that could easily happen here. So that's why I'm just not going to enter. And it happens a lot. Like it was basically happening on GU here. I was trying to get it along on GU today. And as you can see, I'll read the comments there in a second there. You can see that there was this kind of low here. It swept it, came up, right? And then that was a good opportunity to long, but then it came back down here, swept this low, came up. This was another really good opportunity to long, and now it's kind of doing it again. So we're watching for long still all the way down because it's kind of getting a little bit weaker, a little bit dwindling pattern, right? And that's exactly the kind of Wyckoff, right? That we had talked about. Oh shit, what did I do there? Delete this. Delete. That was kind of what I was talking about, how it just slowly gets weaker. Anyways, I'm not going to draw it, but you see that we kept faking people out and then just pulling a little bit more stops in, a little bit more liquidity grabbing into the market. And I do think that if we can get back above this level here, then GU is going to be a great long, because this was originally the zone that I drew. I was longing it like little bits, little tester longs today, and it was stopping me out, so it wasn't doing too well. Okay. Opinion on the current market shit. I don't know what you mean by that, man. The current market? Well, the current market is just very volatile, right? So I'm not a fan. I like my not necessarily steady trends, but I like my stuff like this, where it just consolidates, stops somebody out, and then continues back to the trend, right? I like my stuff like that. And there's been a lot of just messing around, chopping the market back and forth, in EU especially. That's the best one to draw, right? Just completely random, flat, basically, right? And that's not the market I like to trade, but you can play it like more range bound. So these really like outer, they just wick out and then come right back in. You can play those ranges a lot more. If you start noticing that the market's just going sideways, you can play more ranging rather than trying to follow the trend, right? So it's two different market environments, right? Is range and then trend, basically. And then there's like little nested different versions of each of those, of course, in each different version. But can you look at the Turkish? I think this is TRY. Turkish lira, yeah. Man, I don't know why you guys even suggest this shit. I would never trade this. Probably just because the spread is nuts, but you can see it's just an uptrend. So something like this, you can basically just blindly enter. Like, don't enter now because that was dumb. This might even just be a fake out to get stops, right? Before a pullback. Who knows? I wouldn't trade it, honestly. But yeah, I don't even know how to comment on something like this because there's not really any levels for me to look at. It's just going up, so all you can do is buy it. Yeah, all you can do is buy. Do a trade based on supply and demand? It is one aspect of how I trade, yes. If I had to give you a number of like different things I use in my trading, it's probably between like 5 and 10 different like core methodologies that I apply to my strategy. Like five to 10 different like systems of logic that you have to apply. If that made any sense, systems of logic. I don't know if that's anything or not. I've been getting stopped out way too early from the wicks. How do I stop doing that without risking too much? So like I was saying with the markets like this, if it's a currently a sideways market, first of all, zoom out and be like, okay, is it going sideways? Well, of course it's going sideways here. But if you look at something like this and it's going straight up and you're getting wicked out, that's a completely different story, right? But first of all, if it's going sideways, there's a couple things you can do. You can change the strategy that you're using so you're not trend trading, like I just said. You can basically range bound trade, enter on the edges, and then target the other end in very simple terms. Or you can stop trading that market, right? In something like this, if you're getting stopped out a lot by wicks in a trending market, all you have to do is stop entering before you get stopped, before you see the stop out. So if you see, then you want to enter after you see someone getting stopped out. So here's a great example, right? So you see the pullback, you see this low, somebody gets stopped out, and then you enter, right? So just enter after other people get stopped out. It's very simple, right? It's less likely that people are going to get stopped out twice in a row in the same direction. So you just have to improve your odds, right? Can I send a trade analysis here? I don't think you can, no. If you want to show your analysis, join the Discord, and some of the guys, you know, if it sucks, they'll probably make fun of you, but they're a little bit mean, so you gotta have hard skin to get in there. Can you check? Yeah, I want to look at Euro Pound for sure. This is one that I've been super interested. I don't know why. Euro Pound is just baffling me. It's so interesting lately, and it's just doing some really nice stuff. So remember we talked about this liquidity? Boom. God damn. I'm a genius at trading. Look at this. Okay. Now, next level liquidity. So your long bias, right? You got the wrong bias. Look at this. You know why? Downtrend. Smaller time frame. Downtrend, right? We came back up during the London session, right? New York's about to take it all over, right? That's my opinion. You got two stop out points here that people have their stops. They obviously just got stopped out. Now we're going to go back into trend. How can we confirm this? Well, we're breaking down the levels, right, on the smaller time frame. Meow. Hey, buddy. Glad you could join. We're breaking down the levels on the smaller time frame. So this might actually be a really excellent trade, right? So a couple things you could do. You could maybe just enter right now. I'm not too sure. I was watching this right here for the same thing. If you see, I drew a line there, but it didn't break down, as you can see. It does look like it's going to break down here, actually, honestly. This would be a good trade for a pullback down to these ranges. And then this is actually a long that I'm looking to get. But I pulled the order just because it's been too long. I want to wait until Monday for this one. This will be a good trade, I think. So it's either just going to dump or it'll consolidate here and it'll give you a couple entries. Yeah. Huh. I do like that. Okay, so the entry, this is what I'm thinking though. This is a much stronger level than that, right? So I'm not completely sold that that was the breakdown. Just because this is actually a rather strong uptrend during the day, right? So the day was very bullish, so I'm just a little bit hesitant to completely flip the trend now that New York has started. So it could come here and then break up. So the level to short would actually be a 1 minute here, right? This would be the level to short. Isn't that right? Tell me I'm wrong. So let's put a little alert there, and then we'll see how that reacts. Right? And then it's possible, right? Like it comes up here. We don't even. I'm not even worried about being wrong, because this is such a great trade that you could be wrong 6 times and still make money in a trade like this, right? That's like, you don't necessarily even need a good win rate to be profitable. Okay. Silver. Oh, let me look at, I think I haven't talked about this yet. I'm in a short here. I don't think I talked about this yet. Okay, so logic, right? In a downtrend for the day, right? London has been all downtrend. Previous biases on the larger time frame I was talking about, and I hope you guys have been following along. You guys remember all the pairs, how this was going to reverse, and I hope you guys remember. I don't want to explain it again. And we knew that this was going to break down. We had a little alert there just in case that comes back up there, but we knew this was going to break down, right? And so we're just continuing the downtrend, and from here we see an untested level, right? This is the 1 minute, right? I'm trading 1 minute a lot. 1 minute is actually surprisingly accurate sometimes, as you will tell. And we come close, right? You see that this is kind of our first area that it would give resistance. People start getting their shorts in to trend trade, and then they see it break down here. They start breaking down, and this is even like some of the logic I would use, right? So this is where I have to kind of think about how I would beat myself, right? So my logic is often, okay, it made this high and then broke down, but I'm seeing this a lot on the 1 minute, where the 1 minute it actually comes right back up and gets you for another one. It like stops you out over and over on the 1 minute. So the 1 minute I'm noticing does more belligerent shit like this. So I'm a little bit more, what's the word? Greedy, I guess. So what I saw here was I saw this range, and then I saw this untested level there, right? It didn't quite hit it. And in my opinion, I would have said, okay, that's a good time to short, right? On the breakdown. But no, I decided to beat myself and not enter, and then enter on where I would have put my stop. I would have put my stop here. So instead, I entered where my stop was, put the stop loss right above that level, which was actually the breakdown of this order block, right? The previous level high, right? See the sweeps here? Sweep, breakdown, easy. And then now it's, the stop is right here. Now that we've actually broken down. Makes sense? Cool, that's a really good trade actually. That's a really good logic. And so now what is it, like 2 hours, something like that? Where are we targeting? Just the lows. Simple, right? Just the lows here. Maybe I'll cut it a little bit short, because right before the wick there, maybe a little bit short, we'll cut it. Or if it comes, we'll watch how it reacts right here. But those are the only options really, right? But it does look like it's just gonna fall right off the floor here. Does look like that way to me actually. Okay. Odd JPY, what do you think of GA? Yeah, makes sense. How do you keep your psychology after a losing streak? So I reset my mind every day. My previous days do not affect how I'm trading today. Just based off of, basically, I only look at the charts between midnight and 8 a.m. every single day. I will never look at the chart after that time. Unless there's a running trade, I will look at it and I will just close it out only. I will only close positions. And during Asia session, I will never do anything. So I will never be in a trade during Asia session. This way, it gives me a good 16 hours every single day to reset my mind, forget about trading, and then I come back to the market with a fresh mind every single day, right? The next thing is, if I'm on a losing streak for that day, after I lose 3 trades, I'm done. I won't trade anymore if I lose 3 trades, right? Doesn't matter if I risked less, doesn't matter whatever. Doesn't matter if it's a better setup, I'll stop trading, right? And then you can keep your emotions intact, and losing streaks will be less and less common if you do something like that. But if you do happen to go on like a multi-day losing streak, then you reevaluate what you're doing. You change something you're doing, and it could just be a placebo in the sense, right? You know, you could say something like, okay, I'm gonna have my freaking coffee at this time or something. Like, it could just be something really stupid like that. Or, you know, you could buy, I have like this sage thing, you know, make the air around you smell better. Even placebos can help your psychology, just in the sense that you're gonna focus more, right? You're gonna focus in different ways, and you're gonna apply yourself differently. Okay. What's your opinion on UJ? Yeah, let's look at some of the UJ ones. I'll quickly look at UJ here. I wanted to get short up here. Why? I didn't, because I missed my opportunity was actually that one right there. Let me switch this to the 15. My opportunity was right here. That's where I should have shorted. Right here, right? On the retest. I forgot. I missed it. So now I'm just waiting for it to come back. There's still an untested level here. I would like to hit it, and then we can get short. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't have a resting order. I'm just interested at that level. So the big picture here is a downtrend, and this was simply a rally to fool the bulls, right? It was just a sucker's rally, and it's very simple as to why. There wasn't really any level that we took off from. Let me draw this. This might actually be... Let me see something here. Shit. What's the low here? Because this would be interesting. Can you stop, magnet? Jesus. Cool. Let's see where that low is, actually. So that low... Just curious. Fuck off. Jesus, man. Yeah, so that low... It's definitely possible that that was a sweep. It would have been... So if this didn't close back below, then I would have said, okay, very bullish, because we actually did sweep this, and we started breaking the base here. All the levels, all of the accumulation, we broke out with confluence, right? But now that we are closing back within, we stopped out all that stuff. It made me think, okay, we got to come back down, at least test these bottoms again, and then we could continue up or down. It doesn't matter after that point, but. Yeah, the most recent action is the most important, so that's why that this sweeping is more important than this sweeping, right? Okay. What's up, Hunter? Hey, Michael. What's up? Appreciate your advice on the Wix question. Thanks. No problem, man. Somebody asked for AJ earlier. We'll look at AJ quick. Right. Yeah. Super bearish. Filled a gap. We were looking for this, right? We were looking for this all the way since here or here. I forget. Right? Somewhere around this area. We were looking for that. Finally filled. Absolutely beautiful. Waiting for shorts now. Right? I would have been confident enough to enter on this bust down the first time. Just because, I mean, I probably don't even have to explain this to a lot of you at this point. Hey, what's up, Callan? Glad you could join us. I probably don't even need to explain this much to you guys at this point, but we hit a major level This was like a daily gap. Completely destroyed anybody on either side of this range, and then continued down, right? So I don't even need to explain that, I don't think, to you guys. But when we come up, it'll reject. Right around here. Right around here. That I'm super confident of. Right. We got a few levels we can target all the way down, but that's not as important right now. The entry is going to be important, and then we're just going to ride that trend down as long as that lasts. Right. Day trading it, taking, 2-3 hour trades all the way down. You guys really like yen pairs. Like every stream, everyone asks for every single yen pair. It's weird, yeah. I don't know why yen doesn't work super well for me sometimes. Okay, Euro CAD, yeah. I think I looked at this today. We called it would go up, right? Right on this. Where is it? I'm trying to line it up with the left side here. I think right there-ish. You can see it lined up there. Right there, yeah. Hit it perfectly. The euro's been quite bullish. The Canadian dollar has been also quite bullish, so this makes this pair absolutely unbelievable of an explosive move. Here's that liquidity I talk about. See the base? Broken. Explode. So we have this here. Sorry, I'm super zoomed out. We have this, right? What do you think is going to happen here? Well, honestly, I'm not too sure. What do you think is going to happen here? I think it'll stop people out, right? Before we come back down. This is such a strong move. I think it'll come above and then come back down. Am I a full-time trader? I am. 8 hours a day. Going on with U-Swiss here. I see my profit going down. So let's just take a peek. Let's take a peek at how that's working. Okay. Not a big fan of that, right? Not a big fan. What do we do? What would you guys do? Tell me, what would you guys do here? Okay, let me just scroll up here. Okay, no spamming, dude. I'm gonna ban you if you do that shit. What would you guys do here? Maybe I'm actually asking you guys, what would you do here? Maybe I want some advice. Maybe I don't know exactly what to do. Okay, can I freaking ban this guy? Yo, mod, can you, maybe I can do it actually. I can do it here. Oh, I can't even do it. It's too large. Mod, give that guy a timeout. The freaking pound Kiwi guy. Ride it. Okay, so you guys say stay in it, wait for the retest, move stop loss to break even, solo. The guy Psycom just freaking, I literally just told him you can just ban him completely. I don't give a shit. Somebody spam like that and I just told them not to. I'm specifically not gonna look at that pair now, sorry. Okay, yeah, so I think you guys are right. The only thing is when this 15-minute closes, this doesn't look super good to me, right? And it's gonna close in 2 minutes. So my thought, the 5-minute also kind of closed like shit. The only thing is the 1 minute is there's no trend change on the 1 minute. So we're completely fine in that area. So what I'm going to do actually, just because the 15 minutes going to probably close like crap, but we'll see. It could come down. We'll wait for the 15 minute to close. And then if it closes above, I'll take off maybe, how far are we into it? Halfway-ish. I'll take off 40%, something like that. Not a big deal. It might actually, look at this. Look at this go though, right? So don't jump the gun too early. All right, so we got to wait for that 2 minute close there, right? All right, cool. We'll look at gold. We already looked at EG. Well, I think we already looked at the pound dollar, didn't we? How many currencies do I trade? I trade all of them, but I basically mostly focus on the dollar because it's a lot easier to trade and lower spread. Look at that. 1 more minute. It's got to close below that line. 1 more minute. So the 5 minute wasn't super important here, but the 15 is the important one, right? Because that's the one that's actually gonna matter, because the 5 actually closed below. Right. We'll see. Just give it another minute, and then we'll see here. There we go. So it closed above, so I'm actually gonna take off, you know, how do I do this? 1 second. Won't let me mark X. There we go. I'll take off like half of it. Let's say half. And then this is the challenge account. Give me a second here. And yeah, whoever said move the stop loss, that's also smart in this scenario. I'll just show you why here. So let's go to the 15. All right, yeah, so you can see not so great. I think if it reverses here on the 1 minute even higher above that level, I'll probably just close it all. But we can, or I might just leave it open actually. It's not a big deal at this point since half of it's closed. But the stop is already at break even, remember? Because I told you guys I moved it forward after we had actually left this area, and I had entered right on that wick, right? So a good stop placement would still be break even. So you could do two things here. I would say both are valid. Leave it at break even here, because that's the level that we broke out from. We could easily come back up here, stop those people out, and then continue down. Could have been something simple like that. We could also just jump down here easily. So I'm just going to leave it for the rest of the trade. Either it's going to hit here or it's going to hit break even at that point. Cool. Euro pound again. So we set this alert, right? Let's see what happens. Let's see if it does anything. Watch the 1 minute, right? Maybe we'll watch the 1 minute. See how that goes. Yeah. Oh, EG went up, Hunter. Yeah, that's why we placed the alert there, just because I figured it would come up during stream and I wanted to get pinged. Okay, we'll see how that reacts there. Should I take the trade? I don't even know, man. Well, I'm gonna wait. It's a pretty strong move. I'm just gonna wait actually. See if it fizzles out. I'm not gonna take it yet. Cool. Are you gonna trade on EG? No, we're not gonna take that. Not yet. I might. I'm hesitant to take anything at the end of the week. We had a good week. Let me see what the challenge account is up to just under 1100 now. So we've made 10%. So that was loud. That was a good week. Okay. Do I ever trade US 30? No, not really, man. I like to look at it sometimes to kind of get like an idea of what the market's doing, but I'm not I'm not a huge fan. Hunter, I've seen that my broker does a zero spread account. Would you recommend this? I think having no spreads. So there's no broker that does absolutely zero spread. What you're getting is a raw ECN spread, which is where the broker doesn't add spread onto it, but they charge you commissions instead. And the reason is that you're still going to have spread is because you still have to have the spread from the liquidity provider, and the broker is grabbing orders from liquidity providers, right? So the liquidity provider still needs to make a little bit of money too, right? And every liquidity provider is going to have different spreads. So if you find a broker with really good ECN, then like a really low spread ECN, then that'll be nice. And the broker that I'm using now, the one that's on my website there, it has nearly zero all the time on all of the pairs, but they do charge you commission, which just like every broker, they'll charge you commission. So I prefer having this no spread with commission, just because then I don't have to worry so much about, okay, moving my stops and my entries all around as much. I just give it like a little bit of room, and then I don't have to worry about the spreads changing and the prices being off or whatever. So it's not as big of a deal. I would much rather just pay a flat fee, and usually the flat fee is slightly higher because you're getting that perk, that benefit. Was that a fake out on U-Swiss here? So it's not really confirmed yet, right? I think it's still very likely that this comes down. That's why I took off half of it, because we were already a good way down into the trade, but I still think we're going to target here. I still think we'll hit the target before we hit the stop loss up here. But I could be wrong. So I took off like 40%, something like that, right? And it's simply because that 15-minute closure. It's 100% because of that 15-minute closure, right? Which isn't a super strong reason, because most likely it'll do something like this, right? Most likely stop somebody out up here and then come down. But I would just rather close out some of the trade. Maybe we'll see another setup and then I can re-add something. But yeah. Okay. Odd USD sell. Yeah, all the Aussie, we already looked at odd JPY. It's basically the same stuff. Didn't take that. Okay, what's going on here? Look at, oh man, why are we so good? Okay, now we just gotta go back in time only slightly, and then we can go forward. Why are we so good at this? What's going on here, guys? What's going on? What's this? What's this? What's this? Wonder what could happen. We'll see. It could just reject here. But the squiggles are usually right for some reason. Yeah. That's kind of funny. How many pips do I look for in trades? I don't count pips at all. Pips are completely stupid. They don't make any sense. Pips I only look at for like when it's like the spread. Be like, okay, it's 2 pips, right? And then you gotta just factor that into the how farther you have to put the stop loss, right? Pips don't make any sense. Just look at percent gain, percent loss. Talk in terms of R, right? Not pips. Because you could be up like thousands of pips, but still be losing money because you're just bad at trading, right? Pips don't mean anything. And also, I'm never gonna like target like, okay, I want to make 30 pips. I always want to make more than I lose on average. It doesn't matter how many pips. I want to make more percent. How much time did it do demo? I've never traded demo, not once. I've actually never made a demo account. Even now, like when I test things, I do absolutely everything live. Because live markets are better. They're more accurate. And for when I was learning, I wanted to feel the pain of trading. So I've never touched a demo account. What broker do you use in your address bar? I cannot see it. Up here, there's no broker here, but it's on my website, hunterfx.co. You can see the brokers. I'm using 2 of them right now. What do you think about trading breakout ranges? Generally, when somebody talks in terms of breakout trading, like range-based breakout trading, they're gonna do it wrong. I teach a pretty good way of actually breakout trading. It's like basically trend following breakout trading and waiting for people to get manipulated, right? And that's the better way to do it. But when a normal trader talks about breakout trading, they're doing it wrong. Or when you see somebody on YouTube that says, okay, this is how you do a breakout trade, don't listen. They're doing it wrong. Okay? I've never seen anybody have a similar breakout trading strategy to how I trade that actually makes any sense. They're all gonna get screwed over unless they're filtering their trades the way I do. Okay. Is it able to be used in the states? I think you're the guy talking about the broker, and the brokers. Yeah, you can. They're all countries. States are allowed. Yeah, the broker mentioned before. Yeah, states are allowed. I'm in BC, Canada, which is very strict. It's like the same laws as the states. So I'm allowed. Pips are fucking stupid. Yeah, man. Exactly. You get like 300 pips, but then lose money. Yeah. Because you had one trade that went negative, and it was a bigger trade. Okay. Please talk about your trading journey and the hiccups and blown accounts. Oh yeah, I was gonna make a video of this story. It's kind of a funny story. So yeah, this was a fake out, and it's probably just gonna go back in the same trend, right? But we'll see. You can see on the smaller time frame here. I was going to tell a story in one video where this guy, I can kind of tell it now. Maybe it won't be the best story, but I'll make a better version at some point and post it in a video. But this guy came into our Discord, and we had this old Discord. It was called the Fishing Boat. Let me just pull it up here. The Fishing Boat. This one here. The Fishing Boat, and everyone's like ranks were like all like fishing related or whatever. Like you got boat captain and whatnot, and like different ranks were like fish names and stuff. It was kind of funny. And this one guy came in, and he started talking about how he's like a professional trader or whatever. He does this all the time, and we're trading crypto at this point, right? We're on BitMEX, and BitMEX is notorious for just like degenerate gamblers and shit like this, but we were all like brand new. We don't really know what we were doing. So he started talking in this live chat saying how he's just going to give us calls or whatever, and we could just listen along and see how it works. So we're like, okay, this is all bullshit. There's no way he's like actually this good. And he showed us an account, and he flipped, I think in 10 days, every 10 days he would double his account. Every 10 days he would double his account. So he started with 0.1 Bitcoin or something like this, or 0.01 Bitcoin, and he turned it into 1 Bitcoin after a couple months, something like that, right? And you know, we were all like, this is a scam or whatever, and he never charged us anything. So we're like, okay, let's try it out. Let's listen to him. So we would go in these voice chats with him every day, and he would say, okay, I'm gonna go in, like I'm going in now, right? And then as the price would go against him, he would be like, okay, I'm adding this much now, right? And it would be like doubling down, right, as it goes against us. And then we would always basically be exiting for a very, very slight profit. So we would be looking at you know, let's look at Bitcoin here, right? And he was always trading Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's go to the 1 minute here, right? So if it was going up, right, he would just enter, he would be looking at the order book, and he would be trying to enter right before the market makers. And the way that BitMEX worked was if you enter on a limit order, they pay you fees, right? So you get paid to be a market maker. But if you enter on a market order, you have to pay extra fees, right? So it was really beneficial to take these really short-term scalps. So we would place limit orders and we would hope we would get filled, right? But right before it reverses. And then he would just exit for like $2, like $1 or whatever. So if we entered on average here, we would exit down here, right? Just very, very quickly. And we'd take like 100 trades a day. Anyways, safe to say that after probably a month, we had like tripled our accounts or whatever. No, his name was David. We had like tripled our accounts or whatever. And I was like, okay, this is nuts. This guy is amazing, right? I just got to listen to him, and we're gonna do this. And I started practicing on my own and stuff. And then one day, big ass down candle, just all of a sudden, something like this. And we tried to frickin' buy it up, and he did a pretty good job like watching how fast it was going, so he was like averaging down like further and further, so it like wasn't that dangerous. But you know, it was just a huge ass candle, and we all just lost our accounts. We all just lost everything. And then I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck do we do now? Like shit. And then I was like so pissed, because I had added more too after like I had trusted him. I was like, okay, this guy's good, so I like doubled my account with like more of my money. And then I just freaking lost everything. Yeah. Okay, cool. What is the minimum on my broker? I'm not too sure. A couple $100, something like that. Yeah. Good story. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just try to tell that and like post it in a video one day, because I think that's fucking hilarious. And then hopefully he sees it one day, because like he just stopped talking after that point. He just like, he was still in the Discord, but I never heard from him again. I thought he went and like killed himself or something, but apparently he was still around like talking to some people somewhere else. Yeah, so it was BitMEX on cross, right? So it would increase your leverage as it went, as you added more to your position. Fishing boat OG. Where have you been all these years? So good. Yeah, man. Well, I've only been trading for a couple years, so haven't been around for that long. Great story. Welcome to Forex. EG dropped, like I said. Oh man, did the story ruin it? Oh man. Oh shit. Alright, don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. Because look, right here. This one right here. Don't worry about it. I think if you guys are really eager and you do want to take this trade, I think there'll be another entry. I think so. But I wouldn't, you know, it looks like it's such a strong uptrend for the day. You're going to have to wait for this to break down a little bit first, right? You don't want to just freaking, it's kind of like buying a, not like a falling knife or whatever, but it's kind of like that, where you just got to wait for it to, you know, slow down, give us some time, fuck somebody, and then we can go, you know? What do you think of pound? Yeah, I think we looked at pound dollar already. I think somebody was asking for the pound Aussie earlier. Let's look at the pound Aussie, kind of compare. Woof. Okay. So previously I had drawn kind of this level, which just kind of pops out to me again, right? I don't know about you, that kind of pops out to me, right? just a bunch of tests on that area. It's just kind of interesting, right? And we're kind of approaching it again. We have this ish right here too. In a nice downtrend. This is really strong move in the short term, but what's the long term? The long term is what we want to look for. So we always want to trade the long term, right? Longer term is more powerful always. So let's just see how it reacts. And I think going into next week, because basically everything we're looking at now, it's going to be for next week. If you're not already in a trade, you could take scalps, but something like this, I wouldn't take it. Right? But we can look at this for next week. Let's just kind of let's put like an alert here, so that when next week comes along, maybe it'll ping us and remind us to look at that one. Might be nice. Just kind of how that's how you manage a lot of pairs like this. You gotta have like alerts everywhere. Let's look at this one again. So what happened? Yeah, looks pretty good, right? Still looks pretty good for us. That's a really nice move. So now that we're approaching the hour, right? Go to hourly here. Go Alt R. Cool. Now that we're approaching the hour, we can watch again on the hourly close, see how that reacts, right? Because the hourly is the one that we care the most about on a day trade, right? Because you're not going to see 4 hour, you're not going to see daily closes on day trading. You're going to see hourly closes that actually make a difference. So depending on how this closes, we can again decide whether or not we want to get in or out. But hey, get down. Get down. Cool. Cat trying to get out. I got the AC blowing all the air out, and he tries to sneak out. Tries to like break apart the air conditioning vent so that he can get out. Okay. I have no clue about stock. Pure gamble for me. Okay. Am I giving out trades? I mean, I kind of just gave you one. I give you guys ideas, man. I don't want to give you trades. There you go. Second option. Right? Second trial. What happened here? Stops were above that. Probably. Couple went above. Now, there's probably still stops above this, though, right? People see it breaking down. We could easily come up for another one. Same idea that I talked about with the U-Swiss. We could easily come up for another little sweep and then get them out, right? But as I told you, there'd be a second chance. So it didn't break down right away like someone said that it was starting to dump. It wasn't just going to dump down. Oh, Jun. Yeah, Jun said that it was breaking down like I said. Yeah, it's too early to tell, but you know, it was obvious that it was going to reject here at least, right? Do you trade gold at all? Yeah, not usually, man. Opinion on UCAD. I think we already looked at UCAD. Trade very small. What's on the rogue traders? I don't know who they are. I don't know who rogue traders are. Anywhere we can follow some of your trades. I do post ideas in the Discord, and it's mostly just kind of like analysis. I say, okay, if we break this, I would look for a long or short, or this is the area where I want to get in on. But I generally don't give you guys exact entries and exits, partially because it messes with my psyche a bit, and then when I have a losing trade, it makes me want to, what's the word? Like revenge trade even more, and it makes me a worse trader because then I have more pressure, which is partially the reason why I don't really give out like paid signals or whatever, and the other reason is I don't want to take you guys' money. I'd rather just give you guys free shit, because that's way cooler and it builds a stronger community. But yeah, it's just a huge obligation, right? There's a lot of pressure to it. But I'll give you all the freaking knowledge you need so that you guys can do it on your own and make your own decisions. So somebody asked about gold. Let's take a look at gold. We were talking yesterday how we wanted it to go to 1680, and it went a little lower. And it does look like, okay, this is the area, right? This was the area that we would have had to pop off of, right? Whatever. Draw it like that. Who cares? The next level is 1650, right? So it does look reasonable that it would come down. What's going to happen here? It might come up and retest some of these zones that are untested. This is kind of untested areas, support, turn, resistance, all that jazz. Easily stop these guys out that were all trend trading in that small time frame trend. Stop them out, come up to one of these lines, and then go down. Very easy, right? I think you guys are starting to get the picture. What did UCAD do here? Actually, I have UCAD on the other chart here. It's actually kind of doing something crazy, isn't it? Yeah, so I told you guys I wasn't ready to short this, right? I wasn't ready to short that yet because it hasn't touched here, and I could easily see small time frames being a little bit dickish. Non-Forex related question, but I love the watch, man. Can you notice it? It's a Daytona. Daytona, if you can see it. Appreciate it, man. Damn, dude, looks like you live on a pirate jet or something. Pirate jet? Live. Oh, what? God damn it, that was... Can't tell the difference. Live on a private jet. Oh my god. Live on a pirate jet. Oh my god. What the fuck? Dude, too much reading. There's so much shit to read. Gold buy. This is like reading a freaking chapter of a novel like every single morning. Videos definitely helped. Yeah, you're welcome, man. So gold, you think is a buy, man? I think it's too early. I think it's too early to buy. If we start, like, if this shit doesn't reject and we start forming strong structure right around here, then I'd be happy to get into gold. I'm actually spot gold right now. I'm holding a bunch of gold, but that's just to hold because I think we're going to go back to the all-time highs in the next couple months. I think. I'm not very good at that, but I'm not very good at position, but that's just my guess. And if not, I'll just get out. It's not a big deal. I just want to keep my money safe. Keeping it in cash isn't that smart right now. What's the normal commission per lot you should be paying? Every broker is a little bit different, right? Every broker is a little bit different. Some charge a little bit higher. They offer like different perks and whatnot. Some charge lower and then don't really give you any perks, right? But you'll be spending the minimum you would see probably is $7 per lot. The minimum. And then those guys, they might not have the best services or something, I don't know. Or they could be good. I think the minimum is about 7. I don't think I've ever seen anyone advertise less than 7. What Daytona is that? It's Oyster Perpetual. Gold buy, broker resistance, beauty. Futures at least. Euro USD futures? There's a futures market for Euro USD? Why? See this dot? What happened? Okay, what do we do? Don't do shit. Don't do anything. It's gonna go up more. This will go up more. Ah! Don't do it. Don't do it. Meow. Hey, bud. Okay, to follow up on my previous message, consolidating above yesterday's swing high. I rejected off daily. Hey, stop being annoying. Stop eating things. Don't put things in your mouth that are wires. Dude, those are wires. Does look like a private jet from the angle that the webcam is now. I moved the webcam slightly so that, like, because I noticed on the video there that I took that when I'm looking over here you just see the side of my face, so I wanted to see like more of my face in the webcam, but it's like attached to something, so I can't move it very well. Private jet. Okay, NZD USD. Let's look at NZD USD. You say it start to reverse now? You think it'll go back up? I don't know, I wouldn't be eager. This is still very strong down. I wouldn't be too eager, man. Get above this. Get above that level, and then we could start thinking about it. And we could have been more eager if it started, like, actually, you know, breaking levels and then coming back. But these are levels that we're looking at. You can see that this is obviously a point that we could jump off of, right? So we could jump off of here, right? So if you see something, boom, then we could go for the long. But again, hopefully next week, because I think the market generally just dies down New York session on Friday, especially today. It's holiday in a lot of countries. With $150, should I play 0.1? Yeah, you should be playing the minimum amount no matter what. You shouldn't even consider like how much to bet each trade, and don't even trade pound pairs. Don't trade pound, don't trade gold. Those ones move too much. Only trade currencies that are not pound, and only use 0.1 with $150. What are those blue and red boxes on your chart? These ones? This is just the session. London, New York. There's the overlap. Just so I can see at what point of the day it is. That's all. Doesn't really do anything. Doesn't tell me anything, right? You agree with gold going up because we're in a bad second quarter? Yeah, I think gold's going to go up longer term. I think for the next little bit, it's probably gonna be a little bit bearish still. Yeah, because it hasn't shown any sign on the TA side of things to be a reversal. Obviously, fundamentally, I think it's still we're in an uncertain market, so gold will do well. UCAD gonna have a big move down. Let's check back on UCAD. Yeah, it's definitely possible that like right here we reject. I do think that UCAD is going to come down. We're just trying to time our entry perfectly, right? And you know, I might take something. I just want to make sure that it's a really nice trade. So if I see something like this, I'm not set on it yet. It's still too strong for me. I'm only going to take like 10 out of 10 trades at this point in the day. Just because I'm basically set and done. I'm happy with the profit this week. It was like 5 hour or something. Yeah. Yeah, odd Kiwi. Sure, we'll look at odd Kiwi. Yeah. Okay. So on this daily, we saw 3 possible places I wanted to look for shorts. Right? 3 possible places. Daily base, the initial dump off point, and previous swing highs on the daily level. Right? Let's look at the 1 hour. Now, unfortunately, we haven't really seen anything that tells us that people are getting stopped out, right? Maybe right here. Because we want to be making sure that the bears are getting liquidated so that we can continue to the downside. But there's not a whole lot of that action here. So I would actually be inclined to say that this would go even higher. See that? I would be inclined to long this to this. We didn't touch that. So that's going to be our target going into next week. Right? That's going to be what we look for. Swept those lows. Break above here is the next move, right? Break above there, and then we can fly. But again, not overzealous on trading right now. But it's a decent trade. It's a decent trade once we break up, for sure. The stop's going to be a little wide for you would be targeting here on a day trade. So the stop would be too wide. You'd have to wait for a better entry. Yeah, there's that second test. What indicator is that on TradingView? It's what's it called? Sessions, London, New York, Asian. I took off the Asian one because I don't care. Nice entry on GJ for a sell setting up. What is an R? R is how much you risk. R just means risk. For a sell, you said? Maybe for a scalp, right? I think you said. I think you said sell setup. Yeah, sell. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Yep. That. There's a trade. That's a solid trade. Right here, if it breaks down. Right there, though, it has to be below here, right? Solid trade. Where are we keen on blasting off here, though? Right there, probably. Hasn't touched it yet. Boom. Could work out. Also, sorry, I think I just hit the mic. It might have made a noise. This could have actually been the hitting the wicks, and we could come up here. So it might not work, but that's a trade. What currency is it? Hunter, do you think that you're going to stream every morning next week? Your stream are insanely dank. That's what you strive for. Dank. If I could describe the stream in one word, it's dank, right? I don't think I've ever said that word before. Cool. So 5 times risk, yeah. 5R is 5 times our risk. So this is 3R, 2.7R, right? Sound more professional, yeah. Yeah. Do you think UJ will continue up? We looked at UJ already. I forget what happened though. Yeah. So this is we're looking for a sell here because this was manipulation. This whole move was manipulation, most likely. Most likely. Just because you're usually right when you're trading with the trend. UCAD. What did I say? Haha. Get fucked. Get fucked. Past me would have shorted that when I was naive and I didn't know how to screw over myself. In order to win in this market, you have to fuck yourself over. You have to know what you would do and then don't do it. But wait until you get screwed over. Okay, what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I think it'll come down now. I think it'll come down. Not very far, but down to here. But I could be wrong. We gotta wait. It's just a feeling, right? Feelings aren't always right. Keep an eye on it. Thoughts on a CAD USD short? Well, you got those backwards. So if you're talking about like a CAD USD, then it would be the complete opposite. So USD CAD long, I would say don't do it. We're short. We're looking for shorts right now. Please look at UJ. Literally just looked at it 5 seconds ago. Great stream, man. Keep it up. I appreciate it, my dude. How come there's 230 people watching but only 30 likes? Shame on you guys. Thanks Connor. I wish I could like give you like a badge or something for like being cool. I wonder if you can do that on YouTube, like promote people somehow so that their questions are like priority. I don't know if you can do that. Do you ever trade the US 30? Man, I don't know if you're the same person that asked that before. Not really, no. Sometimes I fuck around with it, but not really. Okay, US 30. We were talking about how this would break up, right? This is, if you guys remember, I think I looked at this a couple days ago. Break up, stop these people out, this stupid freaking pizza shape that all the retail traders were saying. It's gonna go up because it's a pizza, right? God, that was a great impression of a retail trader, wasn't it? And then it was just gonna hit that purple box and pff, right down. I think I drew something funny too, and it was like gonna go over here, but it looked exactly like this. If you guys remember, you can watch previous streams. It literally looked exactly like this. I just deleted the line because it was in the way. Yeah, now what's gonna happen? I think it's gonna go down more, honestly. I think that was the manipulation. It'll retest here and then go down. Yeah. We'll have a bearish next week, I think. Just my opinion. Yeah, they all respect levels well, man. Like everyone in this is the most liquid freaking market in the world. They're all doing exactly what banks want them to do. There's no like, you know, all the fuckery is planned, right? It's all planned. There's no loss of liquidity, right? You know what I mean? Or like light liquidity. Only 30 likes because I'm not giving any trades. Well, I did kind of give a trade, didn't I? Kind of. I said don't enter it. I gave you a bunch of trades not to enter. I think I showed you this one that I took profit on. That I entered right before the stream. Where did we enter? We entered like 45 minutes before, I think. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here though, man. I've never had over 200 people in the stream before. We keep growing like every single day. It's pretty awesome. So for all you new guys, welcome. Every Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. PST. I might change the time to be slightly earlier in the future once the gyms open up again, because I do like to work out. And I think 6 a.m. might be a good time for me to work out, so we might have to change the times a bit. This channel is not a Signal channel. Yeah, I literally post that in the Signals channel in the Discord. 95 likes now. Damn, you guys are good at following orders. Good little slaves. There was 30 and now there's 95. Great. Good slaves. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. I can't even read this fast. Appreciate the love, everyone. I will see you. Oh, it's crazy. I 10x'd my subs in 3 weeks. Yeah. It was pretty cool. Yeah, that's what's cooler than 10xing your account is 10xing your YouTube subscribers in under a month. 15-second delay? Maybe, yeah. I would imagine there's I would imagine there'd be about a 10-second delay or something, yeah. Are you fasting? No, not really. I've been eating a lot less now that I'm sitting at home. So I'm generally only eating like one meal a day plus a couple snacks. I don't really need to eat anymore. It makes you smarter when you don't eat too. The fewer carbs you have, if you only eat protein, you'll be super smart. Protein and fat. Just meat. You'll be smart. Oh, here, look. I'm just curious, like, I don't want to close the stream just because I want to see what happens with, like, these, and, like, show you guys what happens, but that's, like, the only reason I don't want to close the stream. But it's going on for so long now. And there's nothing left for me to really look at either. So, this is kind of the question, like, if we're gonna break above this also now. Right, that's the level now. This is super, super bullish, actually. I'm quite surprised with that. I didn't expect it to be that strong. But good thing we didn't enter. And then U Swiss is going in the direction, isn't it? For some reason, I noticed that when the dollar does poorly, the Canadian dollar does even worse. So the UCAD goes up. It's generally like that for some reason. At least lately. Awesome. This might hit our take profit. That looks really good now that we broke the level. I think it'll come down. That's great. And then EJ will look at that again. Oh, look at that. What did I say? I think I said it would go up a little bit further, right? Look at that. There, that's it. Put it on a 5 minute. 1 minute's not very reliable. Put it on a 5 minute. That would probably be the trade right there. Something like that, right? If you guys were looking for a scalp, that might work out. It won't go down here today. There's not a chance. You'd probably be looking at this, actually. And then it's not even a good trade. Probably right there is where it's going to go. If it does break down. Not even a good trade, though. I would skip it. Think about signals. Yeah, if enough people, like, request them. The thing is, like, I don't want to, like, have anyone, like, pay for a signals group and then me, like, fuck up and then have you guys, like, lose money. So I would just be, like, really worried. Watch your YouTube account flip. Oh, it's Ramadan fast. No, I'm not. I forget what religion that is. I don't want to, like, say the religion and then offend somebody by, like, saying the wrong religion. Muslim, maybe? I don't know. Ramadan. Okay. Cool, man. Oh, yeah, if you're eating just protein, just freaking eat, like, fatty meats. I used to do carnivore diet to see how it worked, and I would eat a pack of bacon every single day and, like, 6 eggs, like full eggs, like for breakfast, and like a lot of cheese. It was just like high fat diet. You don't need lean protein if you're doing something like that, because you need the calories. And I was really smart, and I was really motivated, but I hated food. So that's up to you guys if you want to do a carnivore diet. Food becomes disgusting, but you get really smart. Which one of my videos is good for beginners? None of them. Go somewhere else. This is not a beginner channel. This is where you learn real shit that will actually make you money. Beginner shit is everywhere. So I won't teach anything like that. Yeah. The value of the stuff I teach more than signals. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like, signals only get you so far. Might be able to do like some sort of like education plus signals thing in the future, but I'm just not. I don't know. I like to do the streams for everyone. I like to have a ton of people in here and like have a good community. So it just kind of like takes away from the community if you do something like private like that. But we'll see. Don't do the signal thing. Just keep streaming regularly. Yeah. Streaming better than signals because I'm actually teaching it. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, I knew you guys would just like learning better. There's a couple people that are just like, oh, I want money, right? And there's a couple people that like they pretend. I had this one guy, he messaged me yesterday pretending that he was dying of something. Like, I don't remember the message, but it was a really long message. And he said like he just needed my help to give him signals or something because he didn't have enough money to support his treatment. And I didn't even respond. It's just fucking bullshit. It's kind of pathetic, like, that somebody would, because I would imagine if somebody's actually dying, they wouldn't go out of their way to like find a signal provider and try to make this money. They would just like go live their life. But whatever. No, I will not check out that chart, man. Okay, guys. See you Monday.